So it might get some retracement now. DXY starts dropping off, then you can expect higher prices on the indices for the short term. We also swept out that sell side liquidity on NQ from a couple of weeks ago. This August 14th swing low. So everything is leaning towards upside for me, especially with higher time frame context and DXY. Now ES is still trying to climb up for 4362.5, and we haven't had any displacement within the macro time. You want to look for your rally gaps prior to the macro time starting. So within maybe 940 to 950 is a good range, specifically for this one. If those gaps are worked through and they start to leave, preferably you want to see a candle within the macro time create a fair value gap that you can use. Obviously there'll be times where it just taps back into a reclaimed fair value gap and you can use that. So no gap yet. You've tapped into this reclaimed bisi and potentially looking for some upside since we did get a respect to the order block. Now 20 points from there would be right up to here from this bisi. This is an example of us using a reclaimed bisi here. You can see candle buys closing bullishly above 50% of the gap, and now should see some expansion up to 20. Once we get close above the 952 swing, I should get some speed. There we go. Looking for one last pop up through that 20. There we go. So I got my 20 points on demo. There's another 20 points from here as well. I'll take a screenshot of that for the 950 macro. Send it to futures trades. Yeah, you got to be careful now. Since we did sweep out the buy side on both ES and NQ, we'll see where these candles want to close. If you start disrespecting bullish PD arrays, so there's a order block in here, these consecutive down close candles, draw that out in time. That's your order block, as well as the fair value gap in here. So if we close below the gap, below mean threshold, this order block chain, and then start closing below here, this would be your proper market structure shift. Look for sibis within this price leg or into this price leg down into the premium end of this 15-minute fair value gap. Look for sibis, trade back up into it. That's your 2022 model short. Then you'll be looking for downside, targeting 50% of the dealing range, which is the parent dealing range from low to high here. 50% would be right around here, right around this order block. And then the sell side at the lows. So we got some bearish movement here going into the late end of the macro. Do have a unicorn set up in here. So these last consecutive down close candles, we have a breaker right in here. Let me clean this chart up for you. So close below this bisi and this bisi as well. And then 50% of the dealing range could be used as a target. So this gap in here, this tiny gap at 14,839.5. So this 5-minute gap right in here can be used as your target from the breaker. I think it might also be 20 points. Yeah, roughly 20 points from the breaker as well. So from measure to breaker to the low, here's your 20 right in there. Watch how we hold this breaker. Also tiny fair value gap right in there. Preferably it's left. The swing high is left intact. Inversion fair value gap right in here. So nice reaction off the breaker so far in the inversion fair value gap. See candle buys closing mostly within this tiny red area as well. And I'm looking for 20 points down here. Let me switch this to a gray box. There we go. So watch how these candles close. Preferably close below the breaker completely. And then we use that. If we close below the 1004 candle, expect some acceleration quickly into the swing low down here. You can see this swing low is also liquidity target in line with the 4-minute gap. So we can use that as a short-term target. It's roughly around the 20 points as well. Still within macro time. We got 3 minutes left. So if the sell side is draw for higher time frame, you would see this swing low here swept out by at least 10-10. Nice displacement. Looking for acceleration now. Could drag stop to the swing high here. Immediate rebalance here on the 1 minute up to this low end of this 1006 candle. And there is almost one final push past that 20 and into this gap here. There we go. So there is the 20 points bagged and tagged. Looking for drag stop on the screen to the order block low right in here. Makes sense to everyone, I hope. Not too complicated, right? Swept out buy side on both ES and NQ after we pumped up for that 950 trade long. Smart one reversal after we broke through 3 PD arrays, right? So this gap was 1, the order block's another 1, then this inversion for value gap we used as the third one, broke below it, high, low, higher, high is your breaker. I know it's kind of messy here. Traded back up into the breaker with gaps filling this tiny one, and we wicked into this inversion for value gap. Instantly we closed, rejected lower, could use this candle run up as another entry point, and then traded down into the 20, which is your minimums, as well as the gap. I think we also traded into 50% of, yes we did, plus trading back into discount of the dealing range down here. So I got stopped out there on my last contract. I'll send a screenshot of that trade as well. Went short 2 contracts, add another 2 contracts on the fill of that inversion for value gap, and then once we started closing bearish, I added 2 more on that. Took 20 off at that swing low, and then moved stop to break even, and then we got stopped out with this candle here.